There is one silent force that governs how you rise, how you fall, how people respond to you, and how life unfolds before you. It isn't fate, it isn't luck, it is your attitude. Attitude is the lens through which you see the world, and more importantly, how the world sees you. The power of your attitude is subtle, but it is the architect behind every success story, every downfall, every triumph, in silence. Those who master it gain quiet control over their destiny. Those who ignore it remain slaves to external forces. When most people think of strategy, they imagine elaborate plans, long meetings, and complicated diagrams. But true strategy is often invisible. It hides in your attitude, the way you carry yourself, the tone in your voice, the calmness in your face when everyone else is losing control. That is your strategy in motion. Attitude is not simply how you feel, it is how you frame every situation and how you present yourself in response. It is how you signal strength without raising your voice, how you declare direction without uttering a word. It is the armor you wear into every interaction. Those who succeed consistently do not allow their attitude to be dictated by moods or emotions. They weaponize it with precision. They understand that every reaction is a message, every posture a signal, and every moment a chance to gain or lose influence. Where others flinch, they lean in. Where others complain, they remain silent and observant. Consider a young woman working in a cutthroat investment firm. While others cracked under pressure, displayed frustration, or tried to impress by speaking too much, she remained composed. Her attitude was her quiet advantage, disciplined, focused, and unshaken. Her strategy wasn't in arguing her value, but in radiating it. In boardroom meetings, she asked precise questions, she spoke when it mattered. Her confidence was still, not loud. Eventually, the firm's senior partner promoted her, not because she demanded it, but because her attitude had already demonstrated her capability. In life, the battlefield is rarely physical, it's psychological. And the attitude you project determines how others engage with you. If you treat your attitude as your first and final move, you'll often win without even appearing to fight. In every human interaction, perception is the invisible currency. People do not respond to your reality. They respond to what they perceive your reality to be. And your attitude is the sculptor of that perception. It paints your presence in bold or timid strokes. With the right attitude, you can walk into a room and command respect before saying a word. With the wrong one, even brilliance is dismissed. Your attitude communicates long before logic does. It tells people if you are a threat, a leader, a weakling, or a force to align with. This is why attitude must be cultivated with precision. It must be aware, deliberate, and unwavering. If you carry yourself with clarity, calm, and control, others will begin to shape their image of you around those qualities. This isn't about arrogance or deception. It's about sending the right signals. Most people operate on assumptions, not facts. And when your attitude projects certainty and confidence, it reshapes those assumptions in your favor. A perfect example is found in an actor at an audition. Two candidates may have the same talent, but the one who walks in with a grounded, relaxed, and assertive attitude, shoulders back, voice steady, eyes focused, immediately gains an advantage. The casting directors are drawn not just to skill, but to the energy. They imagine this person on screen because their attitude says they belong there. The other actor, slightly nervous, overly eager to please, fades into the background, not because of lesser talent, but because of lesser perception. Understand this, people are constantly evaluating you even if they don't realize it. Your attitude is your signature. Shape it with intent, and you shape how the world receives you. And once you control perception, you control opportunity. In the long game of life, endurance is often the dividing line between those who rise and those who vanish. Talent will give you a head start, resources will offer temporary comfort, but it is attitude, your internal stance in the face of resistance, that determines how long you can stay in the fight. When things fall apart, and they often do, it's not intellect or charm that holds you together, it's the resolve coded into your attitude. Endurance is not physical stamina alone, it is mental and emotional resilience. It's the refusal to break under pressure, the quiet grit that says, I will outlast this. The most powerful people are not the ones who never fall, they are the ones who never stay down. Your attitude whispers when no one is watching whether you'll get up again or surrender. And the ones who succeed are those whose attitude is forged like steel, bent perhaps but never broken. Take the story of a boxer who was counted out early in his career. He wasn't the most naturally gifted, didn't have the prettiest technique, but he had something more dangerous, a relentless attitude. While others trained for a few hours, he trained in silence long after the lights dimmed. He took every loss as a lesson, every punch as motivation. Years later, when he became champion, reporters called it a miracle, but it wasn't. It was the natural result of someone whose attitude refused to collapse under pain, ridicule, or fatigue. Every path worth walking will demand pain. Most quit when things grow quiet, when applause stops, when the climb feels endless. But if your attitude is built for endurance, calm in chaos, steady in storms, you become unstoppable. You don't wait for the path to get easier. You become harder. In a world obsessed with speed, the patient individual becomes a rare and dangerous figure. Patience is not passive. It is not weakness. It is a silent declaration of power. It reveals a deep understanding that time is not your enemy. It is your greatest weapon. When you operate with the attitude of patience, you move beyond impulse. You become strategic, not reactive. You see 10 steps ahead while others are still stumbling through the first. True mastery requires time. Anything of lasting value must be built brick by brick, not thrown together in haste. The impatient chase temporary applause. The patient construct legacies. Patience gives you room to learn, to adapt, and to wait for the moment when action is most effective. It's not about doing nothing, it's about doing the right thing at the right time. And that is the essence of control. Picture a chess grandmaster who sits quietly at the board while his opponent rushes, eager to attack. The grandmaster watches, waits, lets the board unfold. Every move he makes is slow, calculated. He loses a pawn but doesn't flinch. He knows that small sacrifices open paths to greater victories. In the end, the one who moved faster lost, the one who moved wiser won. Patience is not a delay of action, it is a refinement of action. When you carry yourself with this attitude, people sense depth, they sense power. While others burn out chasing shortcuts, you conserve energy, gather knowledge, and strike with precision. And when you do act, it is with the full weight of preparation behind you. Adopt the attitude of patience, and you become immune to distraction, resistant to manipulation, and immune to pressure. In a world of urgency, patience becomes your quiet and lethal edge. Humans are emotional mirrors. They absorb the energy you project and unconsciously reflect it back. That this is why your attitude is more than personal, it is social. It spreads like a ripple through every room you enter, shaping moods, decisions, and behaviors. If your attitude is rooted in fear, others will feel uneasy. If it's grounded in calm, others will feel safe. Influence doesn't begin with persuasion, it begins with presence. People follow emotional leadership before they follow logic. When crisis strikes, they don't look for the smartest person, they look for the calmest. When uncertainty looms, they gravitate toward the one who appears certain. Attitude becomes a source of stability. It is silent leadership, and those who master it can bend the energy of a room without saying a word. Imagine a small startup where the team just received devastating news their funding might collapse. Most panic, tension grows, but the founder walks in without flinching. His eyes are steady, his voice is measured. He acknowledges the threat but focuses on solutions. No denial, no drama, just direction. His team watches him and begins to mirror his tone. Fear turns to focus. Despair turns to determination. His attitude didn't just stabilize the team, it reprogrammed them. This is the power of emotional influence. Your attitude becomes a contagion. The more composed and confident you are, the more others unconsciously adopt your energy. And once you shape how others feel, you begin to shape what they do. Leaders, mentors, creatives, anyone who moves people understands this truth. Before people follow your ideas, they follow your attitude. So guard it, refine it, project it with intention. Influence doesn't always come from volume. Often it comes from the silent force of a steady, grounded presence. There is a silent arrogance that infects most people once they reach a certain level of success. They stop listening, stop adapting, and start defending what they already know. That's when their decline begins. What separates those who rise endlessly from those who peak too early is one thing: the attitude of perpetual learning. This mindset doesn't need praise, it doesn't crave comfort, it craves growth, and growth only comes from the willingness to admit you don't know everything. The learning attitude keeps you dangerous because it keeps you evolving. You remain unpredictable, agile, and humble enough to absorb new ideas, even from defeat, even from enemies. The most intelligent people in history shared this trait. They saw every interaction, every loss, every conflict as a classroom. Their attitude wasn't, "I know enough," but rather, "There is always more." Consider a military strategist who studied both victories and defeats with equal attention. After a major loss, while others blamed conditions or bad luck, he buried himself in maps, journals, and war records. He wasn't wounded, he was refining. The next time he stepped into the field, his strategies were sharper, more flexible, and far more devastating. His rivals had grown complacent. He had grown smarter. That was the difference. The most terrifying opponent isn't the one who wins today, it's the one who learns from losing. With the attitude of a student, you carry no ego to defend, only wisdom to gather. You stay fluid while others become rigid, and over time the learner becomes the master. When your attitude is wired for learning, you don't just survive change, you thrive in it. You adapt, you sharpen, you re-emerge with new tools, new angles, new power. Keep learning and you become untouchable. You stay dangerous long after others begin to fade. Every person encounters obstacles. They come in many forms: failure, rejection, betrayal, poverty, illness, loss. Most people treat these setbacks as curses, reasons to give up or slow down. But those with a powerful attitude see something different. They see fuel. They see raw material. They see a hidden advantage buried beneath the weight. The right attitude doesn't just endure the obstacle, it transforms it into leverage. This transformation is not mystical, it's strategic. It begins with a choice to stop asking why me and start asking what can this give me. The obstacle becomes a forge. Your character is tempered, your focus sharpened, your weaknesses exposed and corrected. Every block becomes a step, every fall becomes a foundation. Take the story of a man who lost his business overnight. Years of work collapsed in a single economic crash. Friends vanished, debts mounted, and the future seemed impossible. But instead of giving in, he studied what broke. He examined the flaws in his model, the blind spots in his mindset. Then, with a quieter ego and a sharper eye, he built again. This time smarter, leaner, more resilient. His second company eclipsed the first. What destroyed others empowered him. The difference? Attitude. There is immense power in reframing struggle as strategy. Obstacles reveal what needs to be strengthened. They force adaptation. And once you push through with the right attitude, you emerge with something rare. A story, a lesson, a hardened edge that others cannot fake or buy. Remember, every enemy you face, failure, fear, rejection, can be bent into a tool if your attitude is right. What defeats most people can define you. What slows others down can accelerate you. The world throws the same challenges at everyone. What separates the exceptional is their decision to rise, not despite the obstacle, but because of it. In the quietest moments of your life, when no one's watching, no one's cheering, your attitude whispers to you. It tells you whether to fight, fold, or rise. Master it and you turn weakness into strategy, setbacks into stepping stones. Attitude isn't part of success. It is success concealed in behavior, revealed through pressure. Remember this: control your attitude and you begin to control the battlefield of life, not through force but through presence. The world bends not to the strongest but to the one whose attitude cannot be broken. Master your attitude, rule your world.